of 1970, we would have won. I want them to come. Remember what I told you many years ago? They will kill us. We will kill them. In the end, Biafra will come. Everything I tell you comes to pass. They will know they are gentle. They will come. They are foolish. By nature, they are very hopeless. They will come. This time around, we will turn Biafra land into a burial ground for terrorists. They will understand how serious we are. We have raised it. It's no longer coming down until freedom is declared. They understand that very well. They understand that very well. There is need for us to remain focused. Going into this 2021, focused. Don't allow yourselves to become distracted. That was what happened to us during the war. Had we fought that war up until August or September of 1970, we would have won. That would have been victory. Nixon would have stepped in. That would have been victory. But we gave up, as we always do. Nnamdi UG. After a little, mental toughness is not in us. After a little thing, we just give up. Look at Trump, how Trump is fighting. It is enough. Oh, why don't you concede now? Oh, why don't you give up now? Hey, give up now. Let's leave it for God. Let God do it. Trump said no. Because in a first world like the United States of America, any hint of electoral fraud ought to be investigated. These are white people. You think they're going to throw it? You think they are black Africans? No. This time around, we will turn Biafra land into a burial ground for terrorists. They will understand how serious we are. We have raised it. It's no longer coming down until freedom is declared. They understand that very well. They understand that very well. There is need for us to remain focused. Going into this 2021, focused. Don't allow yourselves to become distracted. That was what happened to us during the war. Had we fought that war up until August or September of 1970, we would have won. That would have been victory. Nixon would have stepped in. That would have been victory. But we gave up, as we always do. Nnamdi UG. After a little, mental toughness is not in us. After a little thing, we just give up. Look at Trump, how Trump is fighting. It is enough. Oh, why don't you concede now? Oh, why don't you give up now? Hey, give up now. Let's leave it for God. Let God do it. Trump said no. Because in a first world like the United States of America, any hint of electoral fraud ought to be investigated. These are white people. You think they're going to throw it? You think they are black Africans? No. I'm not saying that Biden did not win. I'm not saying that. But there are evidence of electoral fraud, and it is being investigated. Look at all of you in Africa. Look at all of you are debating. How many people are on the electoral roll? How many people actually voted? Can you mark their signatures? That is how human beings reason in disease. Let's leave it now for God. Hey, it's 2023. Let's leave it now. These UG black people, we must be focused. A lot of things are happening. And this evening, I must make you understand this. We are not folding our arms, and we're not going to allow them to overrun us. They have overrun parts of Benue. That is their game plan. That is one thing Omahi doesn't know. Wike doesn't know. Obiano, all these idiotic governors, or maybe they know. The allure of being a vice president to a Janjaweed is what is propelling them. Do you know that Benue State, they want to install a Sadwana in Otrubo? In Otrubo? They want to put Sadwana there. Now, let me say this thing to the so-called middle belt. Of course, Otrubo is part and parcel of Biafra, but let me, for the benefit of this very analysis, let's call them middle belt. Do you remember that you fought against Ojukwu? Do you remember that the same propaganda they're using now to get some of you Fulefus, they deployed it in the middle belt? They told them Ojukwu is here to take over their land, to dominate them, to make their life a misery. They foolishly fought against Biafra. But today, the man that told you that Ojukwu is your problem is planning to install a Sadwana in Otrubo. What does that mean? Because some of you do not know history. You have no knowledge of history. You know, some of you go through zoo primary school, zoo secondary school, zoo university. You know nothing. Your brains are empty. As one man, I think it was a professor that said that a graduate in Nigeria is more dangerous than an illiterate, because half education is dangerous. You know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Look at your history books. The same game they played in Gobe, in Sokoto, is happening now at your doorstep in Oturupo. Sadwana in Oturupo. This is your own Nigeria for you. Anybody who, do you see why I said that? Anybody who believes in Nigeria, I swear to God Almighty in heaven, I actually swear that I am live on air, I don't regard you as a human being. Once you get up and you say, I am a Nigerian, heaven knows you are lower, before my sight, you are lower than an animal. You are one Nigeria. Ojukwu is your problem. Igbo is your problem. Nnamdi Kanu is your problem. Biafra is your problem. They have come to Oturupo. First, they divide you. That's what they do. They divide you and they conquer you piecemeal by piecemeal, territory after territory. Have you seen it? They have come out of Oturupo. The same place they couldn't penetrate for nearly 5,000 years. They have now come. How did they succeed? Because they told you that you're different. You're not part of them. You're part of us. North. One North. Igbo man is your problem. Now, Fulani is your problem, isn't it? Sadwana of Oturupo. That land is gone. And unless they fight, he's gone forever and ever. I'm telling you the truth. They have to join us and fight. You must fight. You have to fight. If you don't fight, your land is gone. Because what is going to happen is when they have the election, Fulani man is a INEC chairman. You know they're going to remove Obaseki very soon. Obaseki will be out from the state. They'll kick him out. Certificate forgery is gone. Do you know what they will do? They will impose their people on you. Who voted for Hausa-Service? Some people today in Imo State are saying, our governor, I keep asking myself, are you sure you created these people? Are they human beings? Who voted for him? Nobody. The same way it was an experiment. As you have accepted Hausa-Service, so will you accept whoever they impose as Ohaneze President General. And your lives are over. And then what they will do now is to be fighting IPOB. And some of you very gullibly and very foolishly, without the benefit of common sense, reasoning or understanding, will join them. Because you are foolish. The only thing that you need to ask these people is this. The only question you need to ask them is this. Who killed the girl at Uli? Who killed her? Who killed the girl at Uli and cut her body into pieces? All these people now issue statement after statement. Of course, I know they are fake. And I'm saying now that DSS is issuing fake statement after fake statement. Who issued a statement when that lady was murdered? She was raped and cut into pieces. An Igbo woman. How many Igbo groups will come up then to speak? All these idiots now writing their long epistles for Nation newspaper, for Sahara reporters writing garbage. How many of you wrote your epistle when your sister was raped by uncircumcised Fulani Janjaweed and her body cut into pieces in our land and abomination? You said nothing. These are the people now that some of you idiots are listening to. When they went to Ozo1, go and Google it, Ozo1, that Ifan was calling Buhari, then Buhari refused to take his call. Go and check it until the Fulani is finished massacring our people there. What did you do? Nothing. And you think that under my watch I'm going to allow the Fulani Janjaweed to overrun our land? We will all die. I told you that I'm coming, that I'll bring hell with me. You think I've forgotten? Anything I tell I'm going to do it. And I will come. And I will bring hell with me. Because nobody is going to stop us. Nobody is going to stop us. Everywhere there is kidnapping, everywhere you go to, bandits are killing. Just Google it, it's in the news. Every blessed day, people are dying. People are being kidnapped. Every blessed day. And some idiots are getting up and talking about one Nigeria. Do you see how foolish some idiots are? You are talking about when in Otubo there is a Sadwana in Otubo. All of us must understand this, that Eastern Security Network has come to stay, is not going anywhere. Everybody in the international community is aware of our sensitization efforts, and now the world understands that the main perpetrators of violent attacks against our people, against everybody, including even some Fulani peasants, are extremists from the north, spearheaded by the Fulani Caliphate. Before the coming of IPOB, the Fulani, through the aid of the British government and their Zoom media that they control, have always lied about the reality of events in the zoo. Everything is farmer header clash, farmer header clash. These are people taking over the land of the indigenous populations. This left the international community confused for very many years, until we came and spent a whole lot of money on our consultants in Washington. It is not hidden. The Department of Justice in America has the details of our contract, and somebody will rise up and say, oh, but where are they spending all the money? Asking him what they're doing with that. The idiots, some fools who are aware of our financial commitments all over the world. That was when I knew that some people are satanic. Some people are I don't know where they came from to even join IPOB in the first place. Department of Justice in America has our contract, which the zoo Garabashe has been talking about for very many years. Is there how much we pay them on a monthly basis? And some people are evil by nature. It's not going to deter us. We continue to move. Are you aware that in Enugu, a Fulani man
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra Hausa-Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chinedu from Olo province of Biafra land. Today is the 10th day of June in the year of our Lord 2022, being Friday. I will hand over the platform to the head of the Directorate of States of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Chika Edoziem. Mazi, over to you, sir.
Good evening, Mazi Jonathan, and thank you so much. Can you hear me, please?
The whole world is hearing you, not only me. Please go on.
Wonderful. Thank you once again, and greetings to great Biafrans. I want to say good night, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening to all of you, depending on your time zone, wherever you may be at this very hour. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olu province of Biafra land. And by the grace of Chukwukika Biama Prumihenine, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra under the supreme command of Nnamdi Kanu and in the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Tonight is going to be a continuation of our exposition on the hand behind the violence in Biafra land and in Southeast and Igbo territory specifically. We will expose, as we have done in the past two series, because this exposition, I decided to make it in a series in order not to make it a very long broadcast, but today will be the third series and probably the last one because of other engagements that we will be having going forward. But I want Biafrans to pay attention tonight, very, very good attention. And not only that, you have to pay attention, you have to bring your common sense, and after listening tonight, you may have to go back to the earlier or the first two series of this very of my broadcast on this very topic or issue, that is the violence in the Biafran territory, the violence in Igbo land, the killings and the kidnappings. Who is behind it? Who are behind it? Before I continue, let me remind the world, lovers of freedom, and those who are supportive and those who are sympathetic to our cause, to our genuine cause for freedom and liberty, the cause to extricate the indigenous people of Biafra from the quagmire that we have found ourselves, in fact, the hellhole that is called the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. I want to once again remind wonderful and great Biafran families all over the world that on the 14th and the 15th of this very month, June 2022, all roads must and shall lead to Brussels, the capital of Belgium. On this very date, the Biafran, Ambazonian, and Oduduwa Yoruba Nation 1 million man march will take place. These dates are very, very important in the history of these three nations, three emerging nations. Therefore, I encourage you, if you have not yet booked your travel or made your travel arrangements, I encourage you, I in fact enjoin you all, especially IPOB family members, to be part of this very historic event, and so that you will tell your children and the generations unborn that you were a part of the nations that brought their matter before the European leadership. So please make your arrangements and ensure that you are there for these two days of this event. The Biafran, Ambazonian, and Oduduwa or Yoruba Nation 1 million man march in Brussels, the Belgian capital. I also want to again remind all of us that, this battle is not one that we will, show any sign of fatigue. There is no room for fatigue here. All of us, as I commend those who are working very, very assiduously and very, very committedly in the media department, I also commend those who are in the administrative department of this very movement. I commend those in the medical department. I commend those in our security department, and of course, those who are in the welfare as well. All of us are, adding what needs to be added. We are doing what needs to be done in order to ensure that not only our leader rejoins us, but also that we march ahead with him into a free and sovereign Biafran nation. I'm not forgetting the religious department, of course, because we have reached the stage where the spiritual is now in charge of what we are doing as it concerns this very, very struggle for liberty and freedom of the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, we are aware, we have been seeing, we have been hearing what transpired a couple, well, let me say last week, I believe, in Owo, on Sunday, if I get it correct, or the Owo Catholic Church massacre. Why I want to, touch on this once again is because what we in IPOB see, we see it in advance. What will happen, we see it already in advance. And when we come out to inform the world, when we come out to inform our people, when we come out to bring your attention to what is to come, many do not take us serious. Many will think we are being a little bit mischievous, or we are trying to stop people from doing what they want to do. Far from that. That's not the issue here. In as much as we are focused in the pursuit of our freedom as a people, as a nation, as Biafrans, there are things that happen in the zoo that will affect those who are also suffering, as the Biafran people are suffering. And when we get the intel that we get, we try as much as we can to do what? To alert the public, to make it very, very public. And I want to ask people to begin to take these things serious, because they are not just, we do not just speak for the sake of speaking. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when IPOB, when the violence was, very, very, on a very high scale, and the only thought of the deeper life was to carry what? Carry a crusade into Biafra land, this Aba for that matter. We already knew what was in the offing. We knew. Maybe Kunu did not know. Maybe the deeper life people, I'm not going to lay on accusation on anybody. Maybe they did not know. But we know what will happen if that crusade ever happened or ever took place. We know that there will be, in fact, what happened, will have been a child's play. Oh my goodness me. It will have been a child's play, because there you have hundreds, probably, of thousands or tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of Biafrans gathering in a particular place. This is not just a question of one suicide bomber. The suicide bombing that they will have used to massacre our people there, nothing like that will have, nothing like that. The ear that had it will have tingled, honestly. And then the follow-up machine gun attack that will follow after the bomb blast. This was what we knew. This was what we wind of. Like the intel of the bombing of the train, Kaduna train, that happened. We also knew. The secret agencies, they knew, but they will not say anything. They want to use it to do what? To give, to blame the black sheep, to blame Ipob. We knew what was about to happen during the Nigerian Ghana match at MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja. We knew what was about to happen, and the police knew, the security agencies knew. They did not allow the people. They want to say, in fact, what they did was, they said that Ipob was planning a bomb attack. So we asked the Deeper Life a genuine advice. We advised them that it is not safe to do what? To hold this rally in our land, because this is what is going to happen. And what we got was an unprovoked attack from Kanu, the Christian Association of Nigeria. But we give Chukwu Abiyama and the spirit of our ancestors, we thank them and give glory to Chukwu Okike, because without him, we will not be able to have, prevented that terrible massacre that will happen in our land. Now, after a war where Christians were massacred because they failed to achieve their aim and objective in Biafra land, they took it to another place where also the majority of the victims were Biafrans. But that apart, after a war, the same terrorist herdsmen, in conjunction this time around, in collaboration with ISWAP, they descended on southern Kaduna. Southern Kaduna. I wait for the people in southern Kaduna. The Christians in South Kaduna, I wait for them, and I've been asking myself, why can the people in southern Kaduna not rise up and defend themselves? Why have they continued to allow themselves to be picked one after the other, like a bird that knows not how to fly? Why can the southern Kaduna Christians not, put their prayer to action, or support their prayer with action? Self-defense is a human right. Self-defense is a human right. It is a right that is available to a Muslim man as well as to a Christian man. It is a right that is available to a Jewish practitioner as well as to a traditional religionist or an atheist, somebody who doesn't even believe in anything. Self-defense is a right that is available to a white man, to Caucasians, not called now white man, to Caucasians as well as to the Negroes, to any other, or to the Chinese, the Asians. Self-defense is available to you, people of South Kaduna. You have a right to defend your land. You have a right to defend your children and your wives. You have a right. Don't continue to answer men while you watch your women and children be massacred. I am speaking tonight directly to the people of the southern Kaduna. We used to know that when you were in the army, of course, you were part of that. That's not even the issue. We don't care anymore. You were part of the full soldier that helped the caliphate to levy the genocide on our people. That is okay. We know that, but we are not going to continue to watch you and watch and keep quiet while you keep mute and allow yourself to be murdered, massacred, your land to be taken over forcefully by the Fulani. I enjoin and call upon the southern Kaduna youth tonight and their elders as well. You have to stop this madness. You must stop the madness. If you do not wake up tonight, if you do not wake up tomorrow, I can assure you that it will not take long and you will be history. The Christians there will be wiped out. What happened in Turkey will happen in southern Kaduna, where the majority were Christians, but through a period of constant murder and annihilation, the Christian population became almost non-existent. It will happen, but Chukadema forbid. And I want to believe that tonight, that you people will finally wake up and rise up and say, enough is enough. Enough is enough, in conjunction with the people of Benue State. Your governor has been saying it, and I want to believe he meant it. Therefore, it is left for you, the youths, to make yourself available to your governor, Samuel Otom, so that you can use whatever you have, whether it is gun or whether it is catapult or whether it is machetes or spear and arrow and anything that you can use to defend yourself. Self-defense is your right. And if you also know how to use your traditional way to stop the enemy, what stops you from using that? Don't allow these people to be drinking the blood of your children and wives, and then they will spit on your face and tell you you can do nothing. Don't let that continue to happen. Now, why I am so pissed with the issue of Southern Kaduna is that not only that they are Christians, of course we know that, but the supposed umbrella body that caters and sees to the welfare and well-being and protection, both spiritually and physically, of Christians, the Christian Association of Nigeria. Where are they? Where are they while their chiefs are being slaughtered and massacred? Where are the Christian Association of Nigeria while their chiefs are being scattered and disseminated and in fact annihilated? Where are they? They will not say nothing. They will not see anything now. But if anything perchance will happen if perchance the victims will begin to resist and a Fulani will be killed, a Muslim Fulani will be killed, you will see the Christian Association of Nigeria, they will come up and start to condemn the killing of a Muslim. That kind of thing. I have never seen anything like that before. But be not, I'm telling the people of Middleburg, do not be distracted by this political organization that call themselves Christian Association. They are not there for you, and they will never be there for you. Your safety is in your own hands, as we, the Biafran people, have taken our own safety in our own hands through the instrumentality of the Eastern Security Network. Thank Chukwokike for Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi, who set it up at the nick of time. He set it up at the nick of time. Had it been ESN Imagine that. I'm asking Biafrans tonight, and those who even come online and talk trash. Imagine the non-existence of ESN. You all will have been toast by now. Real toast. Now, back to Southern Kaduna. What has been introduced into the fray as we speak is very troubling. It is very troubling because the Nigerian government, through these terrorist groups, has introduced a completely unheard of angle into the whole thing. Now they use military helicopters not only to drop the attackers into the target areas, but in fact, I'm not going to say the terrorists now, but the government are using the military helicopters to kill its citizens. If you use a military helicopter to drop a terrorist into an area that they have mapped out as a target to be attacked and destroyed, and while the people on the ground, those terrorists are doing that work, you use the same helicopter, which is a Nigerian military helicopter, to do what? To destroy houses and communities. Directly, this is no longer proxy. Directly, the Nigerian government is part and is in charge of this war against its citizens. The zoo not only is equipping and granting and providing logistics to these terrorist organizations. Now listen to what they are doing more. The zoo Nigeria is now serving as the conduit through which ISWAP and other terror organizations launder the money they use in financing their terror activities in Nigeria and other parts of West Africa. Now, ISWAP means Islamic State of West African Province. That presupposes that they are not only present in the zoo, they are present in other West African countries. So, if Nigeria has become the conduit through which their financial muscle is being transacted, because the government is a government of terrorists, of terrorists, because you have the minister there, the one that they call Patami or whatever, or Panta, I don't know, but I think his name is Patami. This one, his history is there. He is an Al-Qaeda sympathizer. He did not make it hidden. They are not hiding anything anymore. Now, if the government is, the zoo has become the conduit through which the Islamic State in West African province is, making sure that their finances are not endangered in any manner. This then means that Nigeria, knowing about this fact, acquiescing to it, is actively supporting the exportation of terrorism into other West African nations. They are no longer the Nigerian states that sponsor terror against its people. They have transcended into the Nigerian state that exports terror into other countries. And I begin to wonder, the people that form these organizations, the United Nations and the EU and the rest of them, are they simply being mischievous because they don't want to, how do I say it now, ruffle feathers, or they are so blinded by their own national interest that it does no longer matter. Their mouth, they are mountain of fighting terror. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, nobody fights terror anymore. So, you people in the zoo must know that your country is not only, supporting the terror organizations in that land, in that zoo. You can imagine how many terror organizations that are existing in Nigeria now, all of them Fulani based, and all of them have the support of the Nigerian government. They are now also exporting their terror activities into West African countries. And I'm giving you one good example. One good example is Guinea-Bissau. I'm not going to go into detail of what is happening in Guinea-Bissau at the moment, but I can assure you that Nigerian military, Fulani military, they are with Senegal, they are with, I think, Gambia as well, and Niger. All Fulani, they are in Guinea-Bissau at the moment as we speak, trying to prop up a Fulani man that does not even know what it means to be a president of a nation or a country. This is the zoo for you. Now we are aware of all these things. Now we have realized, Biafrans, you have realized what the government is up to, what their agenda is up to. Don't expect in any manner, in any way that the zoo will treat you as they treat the Northerners as far as this issue of violence is concerned. That is the reality. Don't expect that you will, in fact, anybody will listen to you. It is in your hands. It is in your hands to do what? To stand up and defend your motherland, to stand up and defend your honor, to stand up and defend your women, and stand up and defend your children. It is your responsibility as a Biafran youth. It's your responsibility as an Oduduwa youth. It is your responsibility as those in Southern Kaduna and other Middle Belton areas. It is the responsibility of all of you and all of us to defend our land against the invaders. We know that our people are arrested in their hundreds. They are arrested in their thousands. We know what Wike did in Obibo. And we know what Ozodinma is doing in Imo State. We know also what a Ebonyi governor, what is his name, David Umar, did in Ebonyi State. The records are with us. We know what they did. Our people were, in fact, the graves of the unknown civilians. This time I'm not going to unknown soldiers, because these people are non-combatant. These people are civilian people. The graves of unknown, the unmarked graves, the mass graves of our people, that these people that I called, were instrumental to their killing and their dishonorable burials, litters all over Biafra land, and these are war crimes. And they should be rest assured that their time will come. Those who are responsible for the killing of our people, their time will come. Those of you, therefore, that have ear, let them hear and understand. We have our people who are arrested because they only wear the wonderful colors of the Biafran flag. The elder statesman, the Nollywood veteran, we saw how he was humiliated. How can you humiliate a man for wearing a cloth of his choice? There is no more freedom. There is no more freedom. You cannot speak your mind. You cannot gather. You cannot wear your clothes. Your hairdo is a crime. Idara Gold has been in custody since November. Idara Gold is a young Biafran lady. What did Idara Gold do? She wore a Biafran color. That is the only thing. That's her only crime. And she has been in detention since November, counting. That is why I said we must not expect to be treated like the North have been treated. They wear their Arewa with the Arewa flag and all the same. Nobody bothers them. Nobody will even talk to them. And but you now, when you wear your own, it becomes an issue. That tells you that there is something in you that is very, very that is scary to those who hate you for no reason. There is something in you that makes them, wish that that you never existed. And don't let them succeed by playing into their hand and allowing yourself to be used by these people to commit crime in our land, and then label the only stumbling block to their agenda, that is the IPOB and ESN, label them as the culprits. Don't let them use you. Don't allow the Fulani to use you. I'm not going to say Satan now, because Satan is not involved in this. It is you who is allowing yourself to be. So I'm asking you tonight, don't allow yourself to be used by the Fulani. We have seen the politicians that they have used and what is becoming of them. Look at them and learn. And the person that doesn't know how to, the smith man, or the goldsmith, or the blacksmith that doesn't know how to fashion a comb, or ogene as we call it, he will look at the kite or the eagle, whichever one, and then, or hawk, or the hawk, and then we learn that this thing is like almost a triangle. So don't let it happen to you before you learn from what has happened to the others. The politicians have spilled your blood. They have spilled our blood because they want to show that they are good boys, or they are in the good book of the Fulani. But now they are getting. I don't know if many of them expected it, but they are getting their recompense. I'll put it that way. They are getting their recompense. So this young lady and many like her, the other one that IPOB, tried as much as we could to get out of the detention of the DSS. We heard her say what happened to her. It's not as if they arrest our young men and our young women and just keep them in detention. No, they abuse them. They use them, in fact, to do things that it's not even good to speak about. The lady said it by herself. She was made a sex slave to the police and the security agencies. And many of our young ladies are passing through this. And it is behoven upon us all, whether you're a woman or you're a man, you're a youth or you're an adult, but you're a Biafran. It is behoven of us to come together and support the only instrument that can protect our land. That is the Eastern Security Network. It is behoven upon all of us to rally around behind IPOB and push our freedom forward. There is no alternative. Ask me what offense those that were arrested in Abuja during the last court case committed. Mama Biafra, for example, she's still in DSS custody. 80 years old woman. 80 80 years. Is it not a sacrilege? Can you see a Fulani woman, or for that matter, a Fulani woman 80 years arrested and put in detention for this long? So it cannot happen. Therefore, the person that is hated, you must not hate yourself. Don't allow or help the enemy to subjugate you as he wants to subjugate you. Don't allow yourself to be used to the detriment of your own flesh and your own blood. The soldiers and the terrorists who are actually, the soldiers who are actually the terrorists in uniform, they have killed hundreds and thousands of our youths, destroyed our villages. They are what? These people are celebrated. The Boko Haram, they are rehabilitated. They are reintegrated into the Nigerian army and called what? Repentant Boko Haram members, and they will ship them to your land to continue their murderous activities. As I speak to you tonight, the percentage of our people in DSS dungeon and other detention facilities is 3 to 1. 3 to 1. If there are what it means is, if there are 4 people in detention in DSS, 3 of them are Igbo or of Biafran descent. Only one will come from another tribe. Can you beat that? Hey, have mercy upon us. If there are 4 people detained in a police station or police custody or military barracks, 3 of them will be of Igbo descent or of Igbo origin or of Biafran descent. Only one will be of another tribe, if there is even if that even comes to that. If there are only 3 of them will be only what? 3 from Biafra land. So when we know about all these things, and we know that these people, if you asked, what are their offenses? What are their offenses? People who are walking on the street, they will stop and pick them and then put them in the boot of the car or in the whatever vehicle they are using, and then off they go. If you're lucky, people may have observed that they were taken, that you were being taken, and then will raise a alert. RTOB will be involved, will be informed, and then we'll begin to search for them. Otherwise, many have been taken this way without anybody knowing and without anybody doing anything about this. These killings in our land, these kidnappings in our land, these atrocities in Biafra land must cease, must stop. You that is the person that somebody is giving you a job to go and kidnap somebody, when the fire will start to burn on the mountain, that person will not be there. You will only pay with your own head. I am telling you tonight that all of you who have been made instruments of this Nigerian government agenda to cause mayhem in our land and blame IPOB, retrace your steps. Retrace your steps and go back to where you call your village or your community. Don't make yourself available to be used, because the repercussions will not be any palatable. Except you have already made up your mind that yes, he who kills by the sword, as the Bible says, and will die by the sword. It is not me who said it. It is the Bible. Those who believe, those who are Christian, you know it is there. So if you continue to make yourself available, then you have signed your own warrant, your own death warrant, and there's no way, there's no two ways about it. That is why, because you have made yourself available, that is why the Nigerian government and those who hate our march to freedom are now hiding under that cover to perpetuate these evils and say that IPOB is responsible, because their main target is to cajole the world community, the international community. They want to cajole them. Those that they can bribe, they will bribe them to do what? To look at IPOB as a violent movement, and then to say that ESN is also a militant outfit that is killing people in Biafra. That is the agenda. But I know that Chukwu will not allow them to succeed, because he that has brought his children out into this very struggle, he will make sure that victory shall be ours and glory shall go unto him. The Nigerian government that is behind these killings, they are happy and they will not want it to stop. So if you make yourself available, they will continue to use you to make that happen. I'm going to give you an example of the NSAS movement. You know, when the whole thing started, and the youth were moving, you know, determined to move, determined to make a demand. What did the Nigerians do? They infiltrated the movement, and then rain violence on those who were protesting. And when that one was not enough, they sent in the real terrorists in uniform. They massacred their children. The Nigerian government massacred its youth that is called the leaders of tomorrow. The leaders of tomorrow. It's funny, honestly. And when you see their political parties, you know, presenting, I don't know whether it is 90-year-old people, 90-year-old people as candidates, and octogenarian as candidates, you begin to wonder what the hell or heck is wrong with this contraption called it. In fact, the British government, the British establishment, they do not like you. Those of you who have found themselves in the zoo, Britain does not like you at all. They hate you with more than anything else, because they will be the one now that will be telling you to follow democratic process and the rest of it, and they will not allow a 90-year-old person to come and rule them. But they will give it to you because it is good for you. It's a black man. It's not good for them because they are Caucasians. The IPOB Biafran movement, the Biafran agitation for freedom and liberty, is a freedom that we are fighting through non-violence. I hasten to repeat this, that this movement is built upon the ideology of non-violence. We are making our waves through civil disobedience and not through violence. We have no business with violence. We have no business with attacking civilians, attacking individuals, attacking even the terrorists on our roads. We have no business with these people. Those that we have mapped out to deal with and we have dealt with are those who have now who actually went and occupied our farmland to do what? To stop our people from farming, to stop our people from cultivating their farmland, in order to once again bring back the horror of 1967 to 1970 to us. They want to starve us. They want to make sure we do not cultivate what we eat, and then they will, like they always tell us, that it is the North that feed us, my friend. They will now stop anything that may be coming from the North, or anything that will be importing, as they always do with the a stroke of the pen. You import anything that has to do with nourishment. They will seize it and call it contraband. What will you do? You won't do anything because you're in the zoo, and you cannot go to your farm to farm because they have taken over your farm. If a woman ventures into that farm, and because of no other alternative, she will become a rape victim. After they will have raped her, they will cut her body into pieces and strew it on. Scatter it in that farmland or in that community, and tell you, what can you do? If our young men go into the farm, of course they will use their machetes and cut them into pieces and tell you, what can you do? That is what Onyenu set up ESN for. And I can assure Biafrans that these young men and women, these brave young men and women, they have been doing their work excellently and exceedingly well. That is their objective. That is their area of activity. That is what they were set up to do, not to attack because it is a self-defense situation. If you do not allow us to use our farmland, then it means we cannot fold our hands and allow ourselves and allow the whole Biafran population to be starved. We will not allow 1967 to 1970 to repeat itself, not on the watch of this very generation. It will not repeat itself. It will never again shall we be starved to death as our parents and our people were starved to death. It will never happen. Therefore, that is the reason our leaders set up the ESN, and that is the reason that these young men and women have made sure that our people cannot go, that they can go to their farms and do their farm work. And this will continue to happen as it is happening as I speak to you this very evening. We must begin to ensure that all hands must be on deck in order to stop these people who have made it a point to do what? A point of duty to commit all manner of crimes in Biafra land, they are trying to make our very peaceful environment to be unpeaceful and to be in an anarchy stage. But we will not allow it, and that is why I'm asking everybody tonight, make sure that you do not make yourself a tool to the enemy, and when you see anything happening, please, at a safe distance if possible. If not possible, don't endanger your life. Don't endanger your life. At safe distance if it's possible, make sure you get as much information as possible and inform the IPOB leadership, and then we will do the rest from there. I want to once again call on Biafran people to rally round behind the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Eastern Security Network, so that together we can secure our land and protect our land from the Fulani invaders. I want to ask you all, in fact, this is the wisest thing that you have to do. This is the wisest thing that you have. There's no alternative, because self-preservation is the first law of nature. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. We as a people, the Biafran people, we must preserve our race from annihilation by the Nigerian Fulani government. We must. It's not that we will. We must preserve our race from total emasculation, total annihilation by the Nigerian Fulani government, because Don't believe any other thing anybody is telling you. The Fulani Nigerian government, they want to, as they said it, their leaders, they say that their objective is to do what? To dip their Quran in the Atlantic Ocean. And by they're doing that, they are bringing jihad to you. They will bring jihad to you, and then because you are not a Muslim, what happens to non-Muslims is that you will pay with your head. We will not, we must not allow this to happen, and we must all join hands to protect our land and preserve our roots. If you are being used by politicians or evil people to commit crimes in our land, then know it. Know it tonight that you are working for the Nigerian government to achieve that objective of annihilating your people. You are working for the Nigerian government to achieve that objective of displacing you from your own land, from your own heritage. You are assisting the Nigerian government to turn your land into a land that will be inhabited by the Fulani foreigners they will import, who will come over to take over your heritage, and then those that are left, if any will be left, will now in fact lose their identity as a people. I detest actually, dabbling into the zoo politics. I'm not dabbling into it, we've been talking about support, but Biafrans, whether you are in Biafra land, whether you are in Oduduwa land, whether you are in Middle Belt, or whether you are in the Arewa North, you must be you must pay very, very good attention to. And since 1960 up to this moment, it is 62 years count, and you were always told that your chance or your turn will come in the next election, and then you had hope because you say, okay, it's not long, 4 years, the next election will come, and then it will be better. After, when that time comes, they will change the goalposts from where it used to be to another. They move the goalposts, and then you will not relate back to where you were coming from to that very point. They will now change the goalposts and give you one reason why now it's not your time. In fact, your own politicians will be at the forefront of telling you, no, there is something. There is a way that it has to be done. Say, that kind of thing. And then the masses would now agree. Maybe now our time will come. 62 years and count. And because why I'm saying 62 years and counting is both the military regimes and the civilian, they are all the same. When it will be the turn of an Igbo man or a Biafran, that in fact an Igbo man now, because it's more centered on Igbo presidents that we are talking about. When it will be the time or turn of the Igbo man to be president, the military will they will do their rescue. The equipment was simply, robbed of an opportunity to rule. So it is, these things are not happening as coincidence. I want you to know tonight that it is not a coincidence that you have not been able to mount that position, the highest position of leadership in the zoo. It is not a coincidence. It is choreographed. It is planned. It is an agenda, and it is being followed systematically. 62 years. Now the election fever is coming. It's coming. they have already manipulated the whole thing, and then those, some of them are the politicians, some of them, if they have shame, some are licking their wounds now. But ask yourself, I'm just throwing a question to the youths of Biafra land, and to Igbo youth specifically. They are telling you now it is big PVC. That was 4 years ago. They said it is PVC. You must go get to PVC. Listen, Atiku the day before, in 2019, he won the election. Atiku did not bother to do what, to actually pursue the whole thing, even when his party people were, pursuing it. He did not want to pursue it. Why? Because they have had their inner Fulani agreement that let your brother finish. You won't go disturb him. Let your brother finish. After him, then it will be your turn. Atiku did not even bother to go and campaign for this PDP primary they did, but he won. And those who used Biafran money, resources, Biafran resources to to finance their desire to be candidate of PDP or APC. There was no road for them. Those who they wanted to give it, now they have given it to them. Obi was smart. He saw it. In fact, he was smart in the sense that he acted like an Igbo man for once. He saw what was coming. He wouldn't want to go there because if he had stayed in PDP and disgraced himself, there would be no reason for him to go to another party and say he wants to be their president candidate. So he knew what was happening or what will happen, and he left on time and joined the party where he has the opportunity to be their president candidate. But this is not even the problem. The problem is not whether he's going to be a president candidate or not. The issue is now that they are telling you that you must get your PVC, and they are already stopping you from even registering to get the PVC. Oh, hello. I hope people are listening. They are already stopping people. Those of you in Obi himself complained. This is not from me. Obi tweeted it that the information available to him is showing that that things are not, especially in the southeast, that there are some, well, he called it up inaction or whatever, and that things are not moving the way they're supposed to move. Now he's using political terminologies or speaking in a political manner, not to hit it hard. I'm going to hit it hard because I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in their politics. What Obi is telling you is that they are deliberately now trying to even stop getting that PVC that you said it's your your ticket to salvation. But let's assume, but not consider, that you are allowed to get the PVC. Will that assure that your vote will count? Why I'm saying this, that I want to let you know that since the beginning of the zoo from 1950, in fact, since the beginning of election in the zoo from 50 something up to now, there has never been a free and fair election. Something going towards allowing people to some extent exercise their right was what happened during Abdullah time. But even at that, their primaries itself was money back issue, and that alone, that was a little bit is having a semblance of democratic characteristics in it. They did not allow it to stand. Did they allow Abiola who won the election? Did they allow him to lead the country? No, they did not, because it is not going to play into their agenda. So I am saying these things that each and every one of you tonight will use your common sense and make your own conclusions. If you are able to register, which is questionable at this moment, bearing in mind the reports that are happening, taking into account Obi's own complaint, if you're able to even get the PVC, now tell me, will your vote count? I will leave it at that. For those who are so interested in politics, as for us, the Biafran people, for us, indigenous people of Biafra, under the supreme leadership of Mazi Chika Edoziem, our objective is one, and that is the restoration of the kingdom of Biafra on earth. Our objective is one. It is the restoration of the sovereign nation of Biafra. Our objective is one. It is to ensure that the Biafran people live in freedom and liberty in a free and independent Biafran nation. That is our objective, and that alone is of our concern. But those of you who may have the opportunity to sit back and think, those of you who may have the common sense to reflect upon the past, take into account what is happening in this very present situation or this very present time, and be able to project the future. I can tell you categorically tonight that you have one option, not even an alternative, one option, and that option is that you rally round behind the indigenous people of Biafra. That option is that you support the only defensive mechanism in our land to defend our land, defend our honor, defend our women, defend our children, and defend the children and the environment for the children yet on. IPOB is your salvation. I am not boasting. I'm not boasting about this, because all that we have been doing and all that we have done and all that we will do is not by our own power. It is by the grace of Chukwu Abiyama. It is by the grace of heaven. It is by the combined action and involvement of the spirit of our ancestors and the spirit that guard and guide the Biafra land. And having said this, I want to ask all of you tonight again to continue to commit our leader Nnamdi Kanu into the hand of God. The enemies are not sleeping. The enemies are not relenting. Everything that they are doing is targeted against our leader. Bear that in mind. If you love Mazi Kanu, you cannot on the womb that gave birth to you to commit any crime in Biafra land, and they expect that will not in any manner be used against you. If you say you love Onyendu, which we all profess, and which the Biafran people have of course shown without any equivocation that they do love this man, take your hand away from committing any crime in Biafra land. Remove the hand of the monkey from the soup before it turns into the hand of a human being. This is the literal translation of this Igbo adage into English. I am therefore asking all of you that you must continue to supplicate to Chukwu Abiyama. Those of you who know how to pray, don't stop, because your enemy, they are not stopping. They are doing their what they are known to do continuously, daily and hourly. So we must also not relent. Those of you who are Akajiofo in Biafra land, in Ipob land, in Ibibio land, in Ishekri land, in Urobo land, in Akwa Ibom land, those of you that are Akajiofo in Anna, in Anioma, Ikwere, in Opobo, as the case may be, You must call upon the ancestor. That is why you have the offer. You must continue to call upon them on a daily basis, because it is with them that we have gone into this spiritual battle, and they are, on our side. Chukwu Abiyama is directing our affairs, and of course, Chukwu Abiyama is doing marvelously. In fact, I can't begin to even to describe his graciousness unto us, his children. If without Chukwu Okike, we will have been history by now. And without Chukwu Okike, I can tell you also that IPOB will have been history. Because the enemy came full force when they took the head away. They thought, scatter the shepherd and take the shepherd away, and then the sheep will be scattered. Oyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Chukwu Abiyama is your strength. Chukwu Okike is your protection. Chukwu Okike is your guide and guidance. And I also tell you, our leader, that he, Chukwu Abiyama, has been able to keep you structured. This movement that you put in place, this movement that you set up, it is Chukwu Okike that has made it that it stands and standing fully behind you until you rejoin us and until we get there. Therefore, we must not relent. There is no retreat and no surrender in our dictionary. There is no relenting in our vocabulary. We must not show any kind or atom of fear before our enemies, because we have no fear before our enemies. It is Biafra or Biafra or Biafra. Nothing in between. And with that, I want to say that we, those who have not made the arrangements for results on the 14th and 15th, please make that arrangement and just shake forward once more and let them know that Biafrans, the Ambazonians, and the Oduduwa, the Yoruba nation, they have come to establish their nation and to seek and salvage their people from the quagmire and the oppressive and inhuman condition in which the British willingly but without consent muddled us up together. We must break that edifice of evil, that edifice of hell. It has to be broken, and it must be broken. May Chukwu Okike be with all of you as you will go and travel to Brussels. I commend all of our people into your hand, those who will come from far and near. I commend them into your hand. Like our people say, they shall go in peace and they shall return in peace. That your name alone, okay, shall be restored, shall be glorified, and your name shall be praised. And of course, we shall, as always, sing unto your name and praise your holy name all the days of our life. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra is not just an identity for us. And Biafra for us is not just our heritage. Biafra is our being. Our being, that is, without Biafra we are nobody. And therefore, we have chosen to be people, a nation. We have chosen to be people. We have chosen individually to be somebody. That means that Biafra, we must protect it with all that is available to us, with all that Chukwu Okike has endowed us with. We must protect Biafra so that our race and our being should not be wiped out of this very, very earth. And may you all be well and kept well in the bosom of Okike. And for me, I want to say to you, good night and be blessed. Thank you so much.
indigenous Biafrans. In case you never know, we are the chosen generation. In case you never know, we hidden through the call of our past heroes. Monsters are killing us, pressing silent, but we know that this is war. Everybody know, they know, you know, and we know they don't want us to be free, cause we got it all. Out of this is deceiving, now then we go. Every inch and every mile they think we never go, cause we need our freedom. We want our freedom. We want our freedom. We demand our freedom. Tell the Babylon say, Jado, Jado. Tell the Babylon say, Hona, Hona. No more turning back. No matter what I want to say. Can't stop the motion, cause this is revolution. From the beginning of time, suffering and tribulation, yeah. Marginalization and lies, they never wanna see us survive. The government, they always steal and kill. They wanna blow the candlelight of generations young. I feel the pain, but I believe in later day. Biafra, the sunshine of God, say no place like home. No place like home. No turning back, no going back, no turning back till we take our home back. Freedom, we want our freedom. We want our freedom. We taking our freedom from the evil men. I know you know. But never but tell all of them now. This is revolution. But tell all of them now. Missing again. I said missing again. Cause this is revolution. I said this is revolution. Simple like that's what I said. This is all we want. It's all we need. I cannot express as I love. It's better for us to die as heroes than for us to live as in case you never know, we are the chosen generation. In case you never know, we hidden through the call of our past heroes. Monsters are killing us, pressing silent, but we know that this is war. Everybody know, they know, you know, and we know they don't want us to be free, cause we got it all. Out of this is deceiving, now then we go. Every inch and every mile they think we never go, cause we need our freedom. We want our freedom. We want our freedom. We demand our freedom. Tell the Babylon say, Jado, Jado. Tell the Babylon say, Hona, Hona. No more turning back. No matter what I want to say. Can't stop the motion, cause this is revolution. From the beginning of time, suffering and tribulation, yeah. Marginalization and lies, they never wanna see us survive. The government, they always steal and kill. They wanna blow the candlelight of generations young. I feel the pain, but I believe in later day. Biafra, the sunshine of God, say no place like home. No place like home. No turning back, no going back, no turning back till we take our home back.